Coochie has no face. Always have a secret money stash. If you have a not so faithful man, please stop blaming the other woman. If she was not your friend and a complete stranger, how in God's name is it her fault? It's your man's fault, so check your man. Maybe you can't, but get your household under control. If you scare, terrify, or stalk the other woman, and she does give in, what makes you think there won't be another her being number two? If your man is taking care of you like he should, where else are you going to find that? Get something on the side and play the player. This rule is only recommended for those men who are doing more than their part. For those who lay their head anywhere, cookie cut ninjas, leave them alone. You deserve better. Most females don't deserve half the shit. Don't believe he will always be there. Just because you're wifey, some of you are, well, honey, basically unbearable to be around. No one will make themselves happy to make. No one will make them. No one will allow themselves to be unhappy to make another happy. Play your position. Most importantly, accept your position. And this is basically written because just some personal things I was going through. And this is how it all started. And it built into part 2, part 3, and a man's part. Part 2 is a little different. It really means you're the other woman. The problem with being the other woman is you may not know you're the other woman. Some of you do know you're the other woman and decide to try to upgrade to number 1. That's when it's time for you to play your position. Accept it or move on, because you're no longer an asset. You have now become a liability to his situation, your situation, and we all know people out here have alternative motives. For you women who did not know you were the other woman, and your feelings will be hurt like your wifey when you find out. Know this, and first and foremost, you don't want to be upgraded to number 1. Why take her place? You know there will be another you being number 2. You're in a no-win situation. He was the ass lying to you, but the difference between you and him is you don't have to be the ass anymore. You now have 2 options. You can leave him alone. If he really cares, you might actually teach him a lesson. But when I say leave him alone, that truly means be strong and don't F with that anymore. You will run into him sooner than later, and that's when you walk right past him as if you never met. Silence is very powerful. When he tries to speak or spark up that conversation, play that lame to the left and say, "Do I know you?" and keep it moving. Most women are not willing to do this. Take my advice. Just once, you will feel quite empowered and have a great deal of confidence, and you will feel brand new. The look on his face will be priceless. Option number 2, stay where you're at. Deal with the situation. Personally, I feel some women don't want to be laid up. Some of us like to have our own place and don't want to live with you. Some of us were handling our business and were too independent to be worried about where that man was. Don't mistake this woman for stupid. She is actually very smart and secure and didn't need him to begin with. Get that paper. You know what to do. If any more explaining needs to be done, you're not prepared for this. You must move on before the joke of conversation while you're getting played. Get some life experience and come back and try again. For those of you who know you're number 2 and playing your position, getting it in, handling your business, you're not new to the game. You might have even had a few number twos while your main was not doing his part. Sad thing is, most men are cookie cut from the average batch. If you're lucky, you might get a baker's dozen. The 13th cookie, he is the winner. They are limited, so hold on to him and get him for all he's worth. For those of you who feel it's time for you to get your dues, for you to try to tell wifey and you knew your place, you're a hater and a disgrace to this game. You knew the rules. Who are you to change the way things are? You knew what you were doing. Get you a main, suck it up, and move on. You're no longer an asset, you're a liability. Liabilities will be dismissed, fired, and replaced. Bottom line. Nothing is worse than you stank, stuck-up bees, pretty bees, sitting at home saying you'll never be a number 2. Newsflash, you are his other number 2, with your $2 coochie trying to charge $100, effing up the game for those of us who played our part and put our work in. Believe we are getting our benefits. Step up your game. Part 1 explained, coochie has no face. Nothing is more fierce than a pretty with game, and nothing is worse than the pretty who is dumb. Play your position, most importantly, accept it. Basically, the point of the story is some of you are number 2. Some of you didn't know what you were going through. Some of you didn't know you were part 2. But if you knew you were a part 2, play your position. You have no right to try to upgrade. You need to take the scraps you're given, and you need to deal with them. And then we actually have part 3. That's your typical, nothing. Your typical nothing. Part 3 is plain and simple. You're not getting any time. You're left over when everybody else is tripping. You get Burger King cheeseburgers and Payless shoes. Buy one, get one and a half off sales. More than likely, you're dealing with the lay their head anywhere type of man, probably not too productive. The one who tells you he's hustling and don't have a place to stay to pay rent. Probably got 20s or better on his car, but let the car break down. I bet you can't afford to get it fixed. Hopefully he's doing that well and you're not messing with the little dirtball with his $80 coochie that he's been wearing for the past week, talking about he's chasing paper. There are exceptions to every situation. You might have the one that has the funds to do all of you right. There are only so many of you women that have the qualifications to even be in that position. If you would have played your position, you could have been in the running. It's about common sense. It's about seeing the obvious. The answer is in front of your face. Most of you are simple-minded, too simple-minded to even experience reality. Want the best for yourself, so you expect nothing less from anyone else. Reality, no matter your place, play your position and the position you allow yourself to be in. No matter if it has to do with the relationship, the streets, the game, or the hustle, even every day, do the right thing life. But do what you do it to its best, do it to its fullest, and play your position, and most importantly, accept it. So, for those of you that are just now seeing this has been an ongoing thing about playing your position. I'm not really against women, but it's just the point. I'm 27. I've been through it all. And for those of you who are number 2, stay number 2. And we've talked a lot on this particular program about domestic violence. And now don't get me wrong, I'm not a female hater, but women play the most sadistic games there is. You can call the police. And I hate even telling some of you scandalous this. You can call the police and tell the police that somebody whooped you over a year ago and give their name and they'll put a warrant out for them. You don't care whose life you ruin. You miserable, no job having, want to tear up somebody else's life. It's just ridiculous. I mean, when is it about take care of your kids and quit giving them NyQuil before they go to bed so they can sleep while you're out at the club? This is what Play Your Position was about. I wrote this because I was a number 2 and had no idea. No idea. And his woman had the nerve to blame me. She had the audacity to blame me for something that I didn't know. I was supposedly the get on girl's friend, and I just been wanting to get with him. That is the audacity, the most ridiculous stories you men tell. And that's why this got written. And I got more ratings than the mayor, and this is what started this whole Play Your Position. I'm not really against women, but some of you are terrible mothers, don't care, want somebody who's balling. Who the hell said you would ever be wifey anyways? Get your be about yourself and your kids. Be about your own money. Be about what you're doing. And for those of you who knew you were number 2 and wifey, girlfriend, live-in, baby's mama, whatever she is, who the F are you to try to take their place? You're number 2. Take the scraps you're given and run with them, because obviously your baby's daddy, your man, or whoever is not giving them to you. It's just about common sense. When did y'all women's rights, but none of y'all want to take advantage of women's rights? Do these men like they do you. But nothing makes me more mad than a number 2. And a number 3, quit being lazy. Go get a job. Do something. Quit trying to think because you give it up the first night it's wifey. Most men that claim God are the most scandalous that you've ever met. I mean, do for you. If it doesn't feel right, it's not right. It's not going to go right. You know, people accuse you of things that you don't even do. And I feel bad for the girls who are really being good women and staying at home and doing what they're doing, but their men are so foul that they come home and blame them for some stuff they didn't even know about. I mean, how can you live with somebody and not come home at night? What is the purpose? You might as well have separate homes. There's just so much with relationships that this show has dealt with. We've dealt with political issues. Of course, I have a lot of opinions. I get a lot of blogs. I answer questions frequently. You're more than welcome to call me at area code 937-580-1369. You can hit me on MySpace, Kyla, Kyla, Santiago, Santiago. It's just, I wrote this because it's personal. And I know more than one girl's just going through this, and men are ignorant. They play it like it's your fault. And, you know, but some of you women are completely out of line. And when they say, I mean, the sad thing is y'all play games with each other. You know, it's just time to grow up and be about your family, or be about who you want to be with, and love them and respect them and do the right thing. I don't want AIDS. I don't want gonorrhea. I don't want STDs. What is so hard? If you love somebody, love them, and don't fake love them and go behind their back. And that's basically what this show is about. And then we also talk about political issues. We've talked about Haiti, but we've talked about, you know, the war. We've talked about many things, but I really think that it's time we talk about, you know, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio. We have one of the highest drug conviction rates, and it's ridiculous. What jobs do you offer felons that get out of jail? You don't help rehabilitate them. You help them stay in the system. And just things have been going on, and nobody's doing anything to help them. And I also want to recommend you to check out a new website that actually came out. It's actually called Real Public Feedback. It's actually Real Public Feedback. It's actually Real Public Feed bck1.blogspot.com. This is just an example of another young man with positive thoughts. Also talking about our local government. The news reports what they want to report. They don't tell the whole story. They don't tell the story about the victims or the shooters, or, you know, things are going on out here and they need to fix it. And the NAACP, Derek Ford, I'm just going to keep it real. You have no right to be running the NAACP. You have no idea what it's really like to be going out through here struggling. You were the worst supervisor I ever had. You work for the NAACP. I don't even think you know what it is to be black, and that's what I'm just going to be honest with. You're on there. You're not here for us. You're not here to help Westwood or Five Oaks or wherever the most condemned houses are to get fixed. I mean, come and do something. Quit pretending. Fox News, they're fake. They lie constantly. It's just an ongoing thing. I mean, when does it come time that it's just everything? The point of this is play your position. Read some of these blogs. They're lying to us. We have lots of conspiracy theories. Today's show's not about love, obviously. Just the player position was an introduction to what the new show was going to be. But, I mean, what the show is about. But we talk about many things, and no matter what you want to get out or get off your chest, if you feel you were wrongly done, then please notify us. We also have the Bad Business Bureau. If you feel a local or a national business is doing you wrong, please get at us. Email me. I've given you the phone number, the website. Call me. Tell me. We're here to help you, and this is just how we feel from being on the streets, what we're going through. Just